Done. Go. Admit all. Is it admitting us? Yes, perfect. Morning. Can you guys hear me? Fine. Thumbs up. Say yes. Say maybe. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I see some thumbs up. All right. Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I see, we're gonna have those random more people jumping as we talk and speak. Oh, here they come. Here with Doug. That's your name, Doug Puetz, right?
Yes.
I can't wait. And we only have 30 minutes, right? Every time, so it's like a teaser, which is great, but at the same time, because there's like not enough we can share. 36 years in the business.
34.
34.
Yeah.
Okay. And Doug, we'd love to hear kind of your story in a nutshell. But you own multiple franchises in the past, C21s.
Right.
You joined KW. What is it? 12 years?
I've been with the whole time.
Yeah.
10 years or something.
Yeah, over 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to share, or Doug will share for a second, his goals. He very systematic, very, by the book or 101 of how to practice real estate, which, a lot of people try to overcomplicate, right? And he set his goals every year, kind of December, maybe into, January, polishes in, next year goals, and usually over exceed the goals in some areas.
That is which goals I set.
Right.
There's always a goal that you can't reach.
Right. And we're going to talk about that, but you're going to be very impressed, right, by the goal settings and achieving those goals as well. So thanks for being here, and it's fun to do it kind of in person as well. Give us kind of a rundown of who Doug Puetz is throughout the years.
Been a real estate agent 34 years. I started when I was 20 years old. It's pretty much my only job. For the first 15 years, all I did was door knock and go to seminars. Those are the only two things I did. Worked 6-7 days a week. And then after that, I bought some real estate offices, but I still just sold real estate. And then pretty much just came over to KW about 10 years ago because of the cap rate and all that good stuff. And just always done the same thing throughout my career. Always did pass and referrals and door knocking.
Yeah, when you're, as far as I can remember, when you first started, when did it click? When did you say or felt that, okay, I figured out, I got it, like I know what I'm supposed to focus on?
I'm hoping next year. So next year is my goal to figure it out. So so I'm really, I think every day we wake up as real estate agents as a brand new agent.
Yeah.
So always you have a choice of waking up in the morning and knowing that you have no business, or you wake up in the morning lying to yourself. It's one of the two, So I wake up every morning going, okay, who am I going to contact today? Because you can't depend on past referrals. That's called gravy. So you always have new clients. When I sell something to my gravy clients, I don't consider it a sale.
Define gravy clients.
Gravy is past clients, referrals, friends, relatives, anyone that has to use it. Kind of like they feel obligated.
Right.
When I get a new client, I have a lot of new clients this year. It's probably one of my most new client year ever.
Interesting.
And when I get those, I really feel good about myself, because that means I still have what it takes to get new clients. Because it's so easy, I could wake up for the next 5 years and never prospect again and say, good morning, this is Doug, and I'll make a decent amount of money.
From your book of business.
Yes.
Right. That's what Doug tagged as gravy clients.
Yes.
Right. That's
Gravy is, what pays your bills and does everything else.
Right. Yeah.
But the new clients are how you save money and how you buy real estate and everything else. Gravy clients just pays your bills and goes on your vacations and things like that.
So you're and I love the answer, right? I asked, when did you figure it out? It's like maybe next year, right? It's like always finding a way to reinvent yourself.
Right.
So,
but the basics haven't changed in 34 years.
Which is
just prospecting. It has not changed one bit. I remember Bill Gates like 20 years ago said, we're going to be out of the business because I'm going to take it over and the internet's going to handle everything. I remember him saying that perfectly. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get a new job. It never happened. It just made our job easier. Everything that happened so far has made our job easier.
Right.
And which is funny. So it means our production keeps going up as long as we keep prospecting.
Ideally, right, for the right in the right mindset, and that's the advantage to be in the business for quite some time, right? Just because you know how to compare to how it was, you don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Right.
But it hasn't really changed. You know, I always figure you can go in front of a Starbucks today and talk to every person that comes out about real estate, and one of those people are going to have to buy or sell eventually in that 8-hour time. Yeah. And then you turn them into a sell. So,
yeah, basic 101, and you always since I know you master that, just basic skills and the consistency. So how do you keep that discipline of showing up and follow the steps?
I always looked at it as if you worked at IBM, or I was telling Eileen yesterday, if you worked at McDonald's, you have 8 hours that you have to work for the man, right? So in those 8 hours, you have to do exactly what that person says for 8 hours. So in my mind, I can work for myself for 8 hours. So when I come to work, I decide to work that amount of time. And in that amount of time, you either need to call clients that are thinking about buying, clients thinking about selling. You have to work on your deals, unfortunately, and you have to find new clients. So in those 8 hours, you just focus on those couple little things. All we need to do on a daily basis is look for someone that's thinking about buying or selling. It's pretty simple. It's like the easiest job. We don't have to talk to anybody. You know, we don't have any bosses. We don't have anything else. We can just go prospect, and if we don't like a client, we can move on to the next one.
Right. Once in a while, we have those too. So you basically showing up to your own show, and because you have to pay yourself. Yeah,
I'm my own boss, and I always look at it as I don't work from home like a lot of people do. I can't work from home. I go, okay, I need to be in an office at this time, and I act like I'm going to be late even if I don't have an appointment. And I work so many days, and I take certain days off. I just make it a job.
Right. And that was one of your talking about your goals, right? So when do you go into the zone, the mindset of like, I need to set up my, next year goals? How does it work?
Well, at the end of the third quarter, your goals are almost done, right? So right around, beginning of December, you really need to set your goals really before December, because it takes 2 months to close an escrow. Sure. So you have to have so many deals in December in order for January goals to start taking effect.
So do you always think 60, 90 days ahead?
Well, it's always in 60, 90 days. I mean, your whole career is 60, 90 days ahead. You're broke. The day I started real estate when I was 20, I was broke for 90 days, right? You have no money coming. It's impossible to have money come in. So from that day, from 20 years old, I was broke for 90 days in my mind. So it doesn't really matter what you sell today, because you don't get any paycheck until 90 days later, usually. You take the listing, it goes in escrow. In this market, it's a lot easier, but in the past markets where we actually had to work, it was different.
How would you compare the two? If I'm rather brand new and say, hey, Doug, tell me what should how's my mindset should be compared to how it used to be?
It's the same mindset. You just have to make a schedule. Like if I was a brand new agent, like I figure anybody that's a good real estate agent can parachute anywhere in the United States, and within 90 days have a closed escrow. And then from that point on, use that closed escrow to get new business. Right. And keep going and keep going. So I think it doesn't really matter if you've been in the business 30 years or 1 year, you can start your business up. And the mindset from when I started till now is the same. It's prospecting. So if you don't prospect or talk to people about real estate, nothing else matters. All these seminars and office meetings and everything else, it's all good to go on top. But this is real estate. Everything else is this. Right. Real estate is prospecting. Everything else is just frosting. I don't know what it is.
The extra.
Yeah. But you need to do that because you need to be sharp, because when you get the appointment, if you have 100 appointments and you only get one, that means you should go to a lot of seminars, learn how to close. You're doing something wrong. You're saying something stupid. Right. And if you go to 100 appointments and you get all 100, probably pretty good. You don't have to really go to any more seminars. It's nice to hear new stuff. Sure. But it's all the same stuff for the past 30 years.
Yeah. Or if the conversion is really, really high, maybe you should just get more funnel, right?
Well, if your conversion is really high, you should start focusing on bigger paychecks.
Exactly. Yeah. So congrats. One of the Doug's goals for this year, right? Which you said, I guess,
I showed you.
in December or whatever time last year, was to gross commission this year. You wrote it down, like, over 6 months ago, 1.2 million gross commission, and you hit it. You actually went over 1.2 in less than 6 months.
Correct.
So I think like last week you hit the 1.2.
Yeah.
So
I hit my year goal.
That's mind blowing. How did it happen?
Well, a lot of things I changed because last year was a tough year. So it was different. I got rid of, about a year and a half ago, I got rid of one of my harder clients that I used to make a lot of money from, but took 90% of my time, and it was really hard to fire a client. It's when you get longer in your career, you start firing clients.
What did you have to fire him? Like, don't go too personal, but
no, it's not personal. It's just too much work. I just said I can't talk to him anymore. I had to fire him as a client. I just took too much of our time. I lost a lot of money in my mind, but obviously I made a lot more money because it's free.
Wow.
I stopped working with just problem clients, and then people around me that weren't focused, I just cut them out. In real estate, like if you came up to me every single day and say, "Hey, Doug, let's eat a donut and talk about sports for an hour and a half in the office," I eventually not talk to you anymore.
Right. Were you always like that, meaning know what's benefiting you and what's not?
Yeah, Mike Ferry was a big influence in the beginning of my career, and he taught us that.
Got it.
He just like, if you want to eat a donut with someone talk sports, do it when you're not working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So from that, this year's business, right? Once again, just 1.2 mil GCI. You said like it was a very interesting year of how the business came about. How would you, in percentages, like repeat clients, you're reaching out online, roughly?
I would say over half of them were new clients.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So about half of that income, the production is new clients.
Yes.
And would you contribute that mostly to online engagement, your PR? What is it? Why are they reaching to Puetz?
You know what? Which really helped, and I didn't think it was going to help, is the Zillow, whatever it's called, Zillow
Premier Agent?
No, not that. It's when you reviews.
Zillow reviews. Yeah.
So somebody told me get a whole bunch of Zillow reviews. So I did that. So I started doing that, and I picked up 3 transactions off of them reading my review.
People just called you
off the reviews. So I hate to say, I'm not a big fan of Zillow at all. I tried it a couple of years and spent a whole bunch of money, and it broke even. You spend 30 grand, you probably make 30 grand. So that's really bad investment.
Yeah.
But people do use it. So you have to play their stupid game and do the reviews and everything else.
Yeah, like position yourself out there.
Because people are going to go online. I have a 30-year-old son, and he can't eat unless he reads the review. So that's just where they're at.
Most people.
Yeah. Not me.
Whatever.
Not me. But most people read the reviews. And so since that's the new game, or not new, but that's the game, I go, okay, I have no problem playing it. It's really easy. Yeah. The clients should love you anyways, right? And then when you ask them for a favor, and they always do it. Yeah. And if they say no, you're not going to get repeat business from them anyways, because that means they hate you. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. Part perception. Yeah. What are the goals you set yourself for this year that you're still working on? Maybe you already hit those goals.
Well, I want to buy a lot of real estate. Always want to buy real estate. Always want to be selling real estate. Just my goals is the same. I want to finish strong, but I also want to take time off, and I also want to go on a lot of vacations. Yeah,
which is always you always had that balance as well.
I go on a lot of vacations.
Yeah,
which is nice. Yeah,
for sure. What do you think? Not that you have anybody knows crystal ball next year, etc. But from your experience, right, and the time that you put in the business as an investor and as a realtor, what do you think this year is going to end up with, and what do you think next year is going to be the right thing to focus on mostly?
Well, it's just prospecting. It's because the market's going to change. It always changes.
Right.
it's weird because when I first got in real estate went like this more, and now we're steadily going up and steadily going up. We have longer good times now. I just think after they, get rid of the moratorium of evictions and everything else, it's going to change the market. It's going to force people to have to sell. They're going to go, oh, I haven't made my payment in a year and a half, but I still have equity. I better sell. So it's going to create opportunity for buyers next year. So there's going to be more. I don't know if the prices are going to go. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in interest rates. I don't know what's going to happen. But it doesn't matter for us at all as long as we prospect.
Right.
If we find someone that's saying, because there's always going to be a divorce, a baby, death, someone has a bigger house, smaller house, doesn't really matter. So
yeah,
they're good agents, always do good.
And you've been one of the big REO agents, after the
I've been, my last REO was I sold one this year, but yeah, I've done 50, 60 a year. Back when it was big, but I don't see that coming back.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Yeah, it's going to be like a different version of a market shift, but not like in that sense.
No, the banks are smart now. The banks, when they go, hey, the house is worth 500, what should we sell for? I go, 480. They go, let's price it at 510. They're not giving them away anymore. They're smart. They'd rather make the newer banks are just going, oh, let's make them into rentals. They don't care.
Yeah, portfolios.
Yeah, they don't care at all. They're not going to give them away like they did before, and that's what caused all of that to happen.
That crash, correct? Yeah. If you were to add, change, modify, if there's anything in your business that you would like to do more of, what would that be?
I wish I had more automatic marketing going out. Like when I sell a house, it automatically hits 200 houses around. When I list the house, 200 pending, 200 open house, 200. Just have that happen where I press a button and that happened. That'd be great, because I absolutely try to do everything myself. It's just much easier. But those are things that I don't have time for, and I think it would help.
So more of a automation of your PR, your marketing.
Yeah.
Got it. Stephanie, make a note. We'll talk about it later on.
But that would be the best, because if it was automatic, it'd be great. But right now, it's not automatic. For me, it's not automatic.
Right.
Those are things that take a long time for me. There's a couple of things that take a long time that I'm not capable of doing. Making remarks on listings and paperwork and things like that. I like trying to get the signature. Yeah.
You also been putting more focus the last couple of years on. You've been doing this throughout the years, but the last 2 years, at least I've been noticing more of owning real estate, you're doing flips, etc. Right? What are you, if there's agents out there, maybe they have the inventory, etc. What are you looking for, ideally?
Yeah, I'm always like, someone in the office sold me a house yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
She had a good listing and sold it to me. I'm just looking for anything I can make money on, profit. So if something's under market, distress, someone needs to sell in 5 days, I close in 5 days, and I buy it, fix it up, and we just sell it. Yeah,
and usually the agents at times will resell it as well. The one who sold
it matters. It matters. Everything matters. Some agents say, if I sell it to you, I want the listing when I'm done. No problem. Some things I sell, I buy and I keep as rentals. It all determines. It's all about what's going to make me the most money.
Right.
Because the biggest goal always is retirement.
Right.
Having enough money that you can live the same lifestyle today when you're retired.
Right. Yeah. When did you start to focusing on restructuring yourself more as a business, which happened, I know earlier, most people are not thinking like that, right? More of as a business owner, incorporated yourself, retirement, savings, more of a business owner.
And I think the biggest thing, real estate agents, if they're doing more than 150,000 gross closed commissions, they should definitely be a corporation, and they should definitely have a defined benefit. If you have a defined benefit and you're a corporation, if you're making less than $200,000, you probably pay no taxes legally. Mm-hmm. So anyone that paid is not a corporation and doesn't have a retirement set up is crazy to me. It's absolutely free retirement. Right. It's literally free. Right. Instead of paying $50,000 to the government, you pay $50,000 to your retirement, and you pay minimum taxes. And I've been doing that 30 years.
Who did you learn from?
Nobody. I've never had anybody really teach me anything other than Mike Berry in the beginning. And I used to go to all his seminars. which helped a lot.
You didn't have those kind of conversations with someone like you sharing.
No, that would have been great. I wish someone would have told me when I was 20 years old, just buy real estate. Every time you have an extra dollar, buy real estate.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to buy big real estate. Don't be afraid to buy apartment buildings. Don't be afraid to buy anything. Just do it. And I wish I would have done that when I was younger.
Yeah.
I own a lot of real estate now, but not compared to what I could own.
Sure. So that's also your advice to whoever is watching, listening.
They
Be a realtor.
And when you own a lot of real estate and you go on a listing appointment, people just trust you more. All of a sudden, hey, you should turn this into a rental, or you should sell this, you should do this. Why? Oh, on my 21, 30, I did this, and then they go, oh, then they trust you and they sign quickly. People don't need you to be there in an hour on a listing appointment, telling them stuff what's going to happen. They just need to know enough information that you're going to take care of it, and then they sign. So when you have if you bought and sold a lot of your own real estate and own real estate and live here and do this, they trust you quicker.
So do you, when you go to a listing appointment, do you have the whole presentation with you, or what?
I don't. I bring comps and the contract, and that's about it.
Comps and contract?
Yeah, I try to do all that fancy stuff, and it just didn't work for me. I'm not that person.
Yeah, so you basically just go for the actual, conversation.
Right. You find out what they want. You say enough until you get the signature. And as soon as you get the signature, you leave.
Do you listen more to what they're saying and ask more questions, or do you talk a lot?
No, in the very beginning, I find out what their needs are. Why are you moving? What do you need out of this house? How fast do you need to sell? And as soon as I find out what their goals are, then I just answer those questions.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I used to, after I got the signature, try to talk myself out of the listing. I stopped doing that.
Yeah, overselling. A lot of agents getting to that.
Because you get nervous, all of a sudden you go, oh my God, I was here 10 minutes, I got the signature. You have to leave.
Yeah.
If you went in to buy a car today and you want that car for $30,000 and the guy goes, I'll give it to you at $30,000 and you bought it and you can leave in 5 minutes, would you be happy? Mm-hmm. Right? You don't want that guy to talk to you for another hour about getting it at $30,000. You already got it for 30. You're stoked. Why stay another hour?
Right.
People don't want you in their house. They're not your friend. They don't want you telling them all this. You go, how fast you're going to sell it, how much you're going to get. Is there going to be any problems? Great. Here's the signature. Get out. People don't want you to hang out in their house for an hour. They're stoked when you leave in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just go for the close.
Yeah.
that's a skill. It's you have to also build your self-confidence that you're able to deliver.
Well, you take the signature and you go, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to arrange this, do this and this. I'm going to work. I can't work on your house sitting here, And then you always say, I'm going to have a whole bunch of questions for you later on stuff on the house. Is it okay if I call or text you? Yes, boom, then you leave.
Yeah.
I mean, some people want the whole thing and you probably lose them. But
yeah, it's, the way that you geared is more of the, fast close, bottom line, I'll get it done for you.
Right. But you also get, the lady who wants to show you the house for an hour and a half and you have to do it because if you leave, you're not going to get the listing.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to read the crowd.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's a skill that you built throughout the years.
You hope
experience.
So. You hope
yeah.
So. You think you do.
Yeah. Maybe next year as well.
Yeah.
What else would you like to share that you think will ignite whoever is watching, brand new people who have been doing this for a long time, that will get into, get excited about, what, I want to be hitting those goals as well. I want to wake up with such determination because, you've been just showing up, and every time you show up, and I've been watching you, throughout the years, you don't doubt yourself. You just, I'm here to perform, right? Tell us something that could inspire people to be in that kind of space.
I always tell people, don't get ready to get ready. So most people do that. Most people go ahead and get their door knocking stuff. They spend 3 hours getting their door knocking stuff ready and they don't go. People go ahead and get all these great postcards ready and they don't mail them out. People do all the stuff, get these nice mail lists, farm lists, do all this stuff. They spend all these hours, which if they took a stack of cards and walked at the first door and knocked on it that minute and prospected for an hour would make more sense than all the other BS they did. So most people get ready to get ready to get ready. They just don't do what they need to do. You make your calls immediately. Anyone that's thinking about buying or selling, bug them until they say no. Get a list of, people all have it on the computer. I just write everything down. I have a list of buyers and a list of sellers. I call them all, and eventually if they say no, I cross them off and I move on. If they say no and they don't want to work with me, I don't even remember them. I might put them on the mailing list, but I doubt it. If they don't want to work with me, move on to the next one. Don't spend time with people that say no. Just spend the time with people that say yes. And the people that don't have realistic goals, people call me all the time, hey, I'm looking for a house like that. I go, doesn't exist. Hey, do you want this? No, I don't want that. Unrealistic, move on. Spend time with only people that are going to buy and sell to me in the next 30 days. When I was younger, I had a lot smaller deals. So I've always had like 17 deals in escrow my whole career. I always shuffle between. Now I only have like 5 or 6 in escrow at the time, but they're big transactions.
Yeah.
So you only want to focus on people that are buying and selling. And then every time you're with somebody, always ask them, do you have a neighbor? Do you have a friend? Do you have anyone that's going to buy and selling? And people usually want to help you. So you just have to ask them.
Yeah. So see, like you go for the best ROI, return on investment by time frame, motivation of the consumer, and you ask for the referral. Because the chances are so that's how you it's explosive growth.
It's bizarre on how much people want to help.
Yeah.
Even when you knock on doors, all the years I've knocked on doors, maybe 10 people have yelled at me, and maybe I've been bit by 2 dogs, and that's it. I've been definitely bit by 2 dogs, maybe more.
Yeah.
But not many people are mad. If you come up with the first right question, which is easy question, people like it. And then what I've been doing lately on the stupid, the monitor on the door, what is it? Ring or whatever.
Yeah.
So you press that, it records you the whole time, right?
Right.
So it's a commercial. Hey, it's Doug. I just sold the house down the street. You want to know what it sold for? Give me a call back and put in my card right here. Please call me. Boom.
Yeah. And then you see on the, there's like a Ring, they have like a neighborhood pin. So like realtor alert. So,
even better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody knows who you are.
Oh, now Doug's coming around. But I don't farm, but for people that farm would be great.
Yeah. But you don't knock.
I don't farm. Ever.
Yeah.
I don't hit the same door twice.
Sure.
Why?
Yeah. Well, you've been doing this for years. You have a listing.
Yeah, you just hit the 200 round.
You go there, yeah. Which also it's incredible how consistent you are. Nothing is beneath you. No activity, as long as you can engage the people and know, hey, I'm here.
When I'm slow, I prospect. When I'm too busy, I don't.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to prospect if you can't take care of the leads you have.
Sure.
And I used to only prospect and not follow up on leads as much. Now I focus more on who's going to pay me.
Yeah, that's back to the ROI, return on investment.
It's hard to do that because all these seminars say, oh, you need a door knock every day. Well, if you have 10 showings in a day, you can't prospect.
Right.
But you have to remember on your last closed escrow, you're out of business for 90 days.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Only good thing about being out of business 90 days, you have 90 days to prospect.
Right. So, yeah. And also, like I've been doing this for a little bit over 30 years. So it's not like he's, brand new to the industry. So, he has decent flow of repeat business, etc. People will call him up as well. But once again, you've been always, you don't take it for granted. You're going to show up and make sure that people will remember who you are.
Yeah, you got to be 10 minutes early and all that good stuff.
Well, good stuff. I know that you have to run out. You're on the go all the time.
Yep.
And congrats again for hitting your annual goal less than 6 months. Congrats on ranking again as the top 1% statewide by Real Trends, Steve Murray, and capping consistently and growing consistently, and for contributing to us as a community. It's which I truly appreciate. So thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you for watching us. Hope that you enjoyed.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Thank you.